What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator 2021 with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's beautiful project. This is the McLaren 650S VM Liberty Walk Edition. This is our competition entry. It's going to be pretty insane. You can see we've got lots of bonus parts. We've got some hood latches on here. We've also got some supports holding up the front splitter there with a couple of neons on either side. We've got a neon just knocked in down here. One on here that should sit behind a fender as well, and then a couple on this rear spoiler at the back, looking pretty good. That's how it should look behind the rear fender. Looking pretty cool. It's pretty epic. I do like this one. We've also got a very custom livery to go on this bad boy as well today. It's looking awesome. And one other thing I did fix, if we just jump in and take a seat, is I put some boxes just inside there to cover up the bits of suspension that come through into the actual chassis of the car, into the frame of the car, into the cabin of the car. Pretty cool. Competition ends today, 10 p.m. this evening, UK time at BST. British summertime is what we're in at the moment. So do make sure you're paying attention to that, with the winner announced tomorrow at 10 p.m. Link in the description below to the official Red Dot Games server where you can come and take part in the competitions. This one is just for a bit of fun, some bragging rights. So let's get on with it. Let's talk about this beautiful McLaren. As I said, it is the 650S VM Liberty Walk Edition, and we have created a special livery for this one today. It is in the Liberty Walk style and theme. We got ours from the auction house. It's in pretty good condition, apart from the bodywork, which is a little bit low, but we can deal with that. We're going to end up replacing or repairing most of it anyway. Did I get a good deal? Absolutely not. I bought it for 133,736 and can sell it for 128,942, losing out on 4,794 before we even begin. But never mind, I'm sure we'll be able to claw it back. The engine in this one is the V8 double overhead cam A.K.A. TRS M4 mid-engined, and then the TRS is the twin turbos on there as well. 641 factory horsepower from this beast. We will be increasing it with performance parts, trying to make this one as incredible as we can. I don't think we can get, there we go. So I don't think we can get into the engine bay, but it's in there and it's looking pretty complete. That's always a good sign. So let's get this beautiful McLaren started. Let's get it over to the car wash. Let's get it cleaned up. In the car wash with the McLaren. What colour is it underneath all of this dust and grime? Let's find out. What colour are you? A lovely yellow colour with the carbon fibre stripe running through the centre. Obviously, additional parts like this isn't normally on here. This is a different spoiler normally. This roof isn't on the Liberty Walk one, so I've pitted it on there. And this hood also doesn't normally come carbon fibre, so it's just a little bit different. Loving the look of that. Let's get the interior done. Let's get this beast back on the lifter. Start stripping everything out, tearing it all down. Ready to get this one all back together, shiny and new. 650S in the air. We need to check for that oil pan underneath, and we can't actually see, so let's get in. There is an oil pan there, so let's get all of that drained out. I wonder how well this Liberty Walk McLaren was looked after. That's not bad. We've definitely seen a lot worse, and there is quite a bit of it in there as well, so we will take that. But let's get in underneath again, and let's see what we've got going on in here. So it is obviously rear-wheel drive, so we need to get these rear wheels and rear drive axles off, so I'll quickly do that. Be back in a second. There we go. That's the rear wheels and drive axles off. Let's grab this starter out. Out you come. And this big old chunky gearbox while we're here as well. There we go. Nice and easy. And no exhaust at all. So that should be quite simple to rip out. Is there actually an exhaust? No, just built into the frame. Double check. Exhaust tips, yeah, just up there. I can just see them poking out, I believe. But anyway, let's get this beast back down and try and get that twin turbo V8 ripped out of that engine bay. Down to the back you come. We won't open you up because that's missing, but there we go. Pull you out, and I'm hoping it's left the engine cover on. I'm stuck. I can't see. Engine cover is still on. That's what we wanted to see. Now let's get in and see what we've got going on this engine bay. Can I even get in anywhere from here? Well, if I get in from here, and we can reach. That's what I wanted to see. There we go. So now we've got double radiators, which we did in the last one as well. ECU just up at the back with a coolant reservoir down here and a fuse box in the middle. Fuel tank and fuel pump also in the middle there. And we've got two small intercoolers that do connect into that engine. We'll check that one out a little bit later. Up to the front we go. We've got two more radiators again. Then we've got the wishy-washy reservoir, the brake servo, the ABS pump and module, power steering reservoir, and a cheeky battery just dotted in the middle there. Nice and simple. We need to drain the liquids out. Can I reach you from here? I can indeed. So if we go to here, check I can still reach. Right click, additional tools, drain tool, click and hold on the container, and it will drain all the liquids out. We're going to get the rest of this all stripped out, repaired, replaced, or upgraded, ready to go back in. And then when we come back, it'll be time to get all of the bodywork for this beautiful McLaren all back together before heading into the paint shop and applying that beautiful livery today. That's everything mechanical for the 650S Liberty Walk repaired, replaced, or upgraded. We now need to start getting some of this off, and this is going to be fun. I think we're going to have to start taking off some of the bonus parts first. Out you come. I can't get you off. There we go. Give me a moment. I don't think I'm going to make you watch all of this because it's going to be very finicky. It might take me a little while, but I'm going to grab all these bonus parts off, and then we'll come back to this lovely bodywork. There we go. That's all the bonus parts out. So let's get on and just strip the rest of this bodywork. Out with the hood, front bumper, headlights. Out you come. Front fender, not the suspension. Thank you. This is the window. There we go. Out you come. Door and mirror. Should have just got that off in one piece. Car part 3. Rear right fender. Trunk. Rear bumper, tail lights. Lots of parts on that. Then we need the spoiler. The rear clamshell. Engine cover. The exhaust, and is there a rear window in there? I do believe there was a rear window in there, but maybe not. Maybe we were missing it. Rear fender, clamshell, door, window, and mirror, although the mirror was missing. Car part 4, out you come. What else have we got? Car part 6, don't forget this little suspension piece at the bumper piece at the back there. Is that everything? We have left in the bonus parts down here. Not sure what I'm going to do with them. They're either probably going to go a carbon like this or something grey to match in with the interior, or maybe just a black. We shall find out a little bit later. We have got the beautiful Viper seats in here today and just a normal steering wheel. 8 in there for good measure. But have we got everything? That's not the screen I wanted. It kind of was. 1%, nothing on there. So we have got everything. Let's get this carbon frame all welded. We're just welding these parts at the back here, in all honesty. What is the frame at? 73%, and I bought the car for 133,000. I can't remember what the other one was. Oh, I didn't even guess, but there we go. 786. That was a lot less than I thought it was going to be. So let's get that all sorted out. We will take a quick look at the body shop as we're here. Not going to spend too much time on it. I'm just going to point out that things are well named. 650S's, MP412C. We're obviously the Liberty Walk Performance Edition, so it'll be one of these ones here. If we just carry on scrolling down through the interior, we need to go for car part 5, the scoop option, because we have got the scoop on ours. The rest of the interior, I can't remember what I put in there, but we'll figure that one out. None of this is specifically labelled. I think we went for one of the Spider engine covers, even though we're not on the Spider. Front bumper, obviously, where are you? Liberty Walk Performance. Now, there's two very similar. One of them has an extra carbon piece sticking out here. I think it's the second one. I'm not 100% sure, but we are using that one, so we'll figure that one out later. We've gone for the molded scoop option, so one of them, it definitely in the carbon. I can't remember which one it is now. We'll figure that one out later. But as I said, everything is well named. Obviously, you've got the LB Performance. There's a few different variations. I'm not sure for the reason. We'll figure that one out a little bit later on. But there we go. There's another one there with the window removed, so we can have the window open if we want. Then you've got the LB Performance front fenders, obviously with carbon, without carbon, so on and so forth. Again, the windows in there too far. Front fenders we've checked out. Hoods, obviously the LB Performance ones in there. I think we're in the bare carbon, but I'm not 100% on that. Headlight options we've already seen. Wing mirror options, we've just stuck with the carbon ones. Tail light options. Rear bumpers, obviously the Liberty Walk Performance. One of them, I think we've gone for the eye without any carbon for the rear bumper, but I'm not 100% on that. The rear clamshell, we've gone for one of these ones. I can't remember if it's the painted carbon or the bare carbon again, but we will find out a bit later on. But everything is well labelled in here. Excellent, excellent job by Payne on this one. So it's nice and easy to make sure you get this all back together. So there we go. It's time to start getting ours all back together before we put this beast into the paint shop and get my lovely created Liberty Walk livery on this beautiful McLaren. Let's get all these body panels back on then, ready to get this beautiful, beautiful McLaren into the paint shop. Obviously, LB Performance front fenders on there. LB Performance bare carbon at front, just the hood. Just goes at the front. There we go. Clear side markers on the headlights. Then obviously we got that big old front bumper on there. LB Performance is the bumper L, and as I said, it's got just these little carbon bits on the front bumper. The other Liberty Walk Performance doesn't have them, and they do finish it off for me. So there we go. We're keeping them on there. Car part 4, in you go. So that's the 688HS. Car part 4D on there, in you go. Front clamshell, again, MSO roof scoop. It's the G1. So it's got some body coloured just on the outside of that carbon, looking nice. The interior is the MSO roof scoop, obviously, because we've got that roof scoop on there. Windshield's just a standard windshield. Then we've just gone for the normal doors. There are plenty of options for doors on this beast. I wasn't sure what to go with. The LB Performance front fenders, on you go there with the 650S logos, just looking pretty good. Normal carbon mirrors, in you go. Let's get around and get this other side all in and ready to go. In you go, in you go, and in you go again. A 650S logo just down there. Rear left fender, 650S MP412C. There we go. The rear left fender looking good. Body window is just the normal body window. Car part 2, the LB Performance going on top of that. Let's get the rest of this in, all caught up. In you go, in you go. On you go. Then we can move around to the back. Then we will start with car part 6, which is just this metal plate. Could have just been part of the frame, but there we go. Rear bumper, LB Performance, not the carbon one, although it's got a little bit of carbon in it, but that's just the way it goes. The engine cover is the Spider engine cover for the 650S MP412C. I just kind of liked how that one looked. Then we got the rear window, in you go, and then the actual trunk piece, engine cover, don't know. There we go, some carbon fiber on there and just a little bit of black as well. Car part 1 is car part 1B, which is the kind of the one I thought it was, chromed and black tips, looking nice. Clamshell, bare carbon, clamshell L on there, looking very nice. I love that additional scoop. Trunk left tail light is the spoiler, 650S MP412C. At least we kept, at least even unbeknownst to my knowledge, we managed to keep everything pretty much on this 650S MP412 version. We got a carbon badged rear piece there. The other one is full chrome. I didn't like that piece in chrome. I wanted to get it to go red, same as the front, but it apparently doesn't exist at the back there, so never mind. We'll go with the blacked out one. For tail lights, we went with the Bs, which are the 675 LT 688 HS. That is the interior we've got, so that does kind of match into there. In you go, and in you go. And then for our rear license plate, we've gone for the 650S LBWK or Liberty Walk on there, looking pretty good. I think that's all of the bodywork, but I'm not 100%. So let's just get in and get that interior in. As I said, the Viper seats, maybe trying something with the colours later, we'll see. And then the steering wheel 8, I just think it kind of fits it in there. Is that everything? Apart from the bonus parts, obviously. 100%, 100%, 100%. It is. I'm not going to bother throwing all the bonus parts back on right now, because I do want to paint them separately in the paint shop. So let's just get this beast all into the paint shop, ready to take that new livery, get some of the bonus parts painted, and I'll join you all back in a moment when hopefully we've got everything painted on this beautiful Liberty Walk McLaren 650S. Well, there we have it, all painted and looking absolutely fantastic. We are clipping through the floor, so you can't really see the bits around the front quite as well as I would have liked, but there we go. We'll come back to that one in a minute. We've got the hood latches at the front there in that beautiful pearl red, which matches in with this sort of colour here. It's just a bit shiny, a bit more metallic. We did also manage to get the latches on this rear trunk piece in that same red as well. They're not bonus parts, they're just attached to that. What we did was make sure one of the choices was carbon fibre, and then put that pearl red on there. Looking pretty nice. If we open the door, how do I get to open the door? There we go. We open the door. The seats are quite a bright red. It's very similar to the colour on that logo. It's just a bit brighter. We take a seat. They've also got some white trim around them, looking fantastic. Steering wheel is very black with a white centre. And then obviously the rings, I just went to point at my screen. The rings around the dashboard, the vents and things like that are all in that beautiful pearl red, which is a very similar colour to what's on the hood latches. Looking pretty good. Oh, the one thing I couldn't get, I can't actually get them out, is these boxes. They're well stuffed in there, so they're going to remain white, which is a bit of a shame. I would have liked them in carbon fibre or a darker colour. But there we go. What do you think? We've obviously got Liberty Walk logos everywhere. One just under there. I don't know what's going on with that. Oh, it's clipping through the floor. There we go. It'll look a little bit better later on. My logo just down at the back. The Imagine All the People Living Life in Peace, which is on pretty much every single Liberty Walk car the Japanese logo on there. And then at the front, we've got some white versions of these Liberty Walk Diamond logos there. Just white on the front splitter piece. Looking absolutely quality. Loving this one. I think it looks so, so good. But let's get this beast back on the lifter so you can fully check out this livery. Then we can start getting everything else all back together for the underside once I've got it all painted. Well, there she is in all her glory. Looking fantastic. Now you can see those little diamond logos on that front splitter there, looking very good with the black support bars and the red neons just poking up through. A little bit more down the side, obviously still clipping a little bit there because of how absolutely low down this beast is. And the other thing I have changed is I've changed the exhaust. So it's got white tips, it's now black steel on the pipes and white tips out there. Looking very nice. But let's get started with this suspension. Up you go. Let's get these shocks together. Just black shocks. Red springs on this one today, looking very nice. Keeping in with the colour theme of black and red. There's plenty more within the colour theme left to go on this build. Definitely a lot of white going in this bad boy. We're going to start down the back this time instead of at the front, mostly because we've got these two black small intercoolers just to go in there. And that's it. Then we're going to crack on, get all of this rear stuff on, all of the front stuff on, at least for one side. And we'll come back in a moment. Well, there we go. We've got half the suspension in. Looking beautiful in black, white, and red. Have I overdone it on the red? I don't think so. I think this is a pretty tame, in all honesty. Mostly black and white with a splash of red. The shocks, obviously, in black. The upper and lower suspension arms in white. Then a plethora of white and black dropped in elsewhere. Looking absolutely fantastic. Loving that. If we can get down to the back, there we go. It is exactly the same, just without the steering rack and the sway bar effectively. Looking pretty good, though. A couple more pieces still to go. Fuel tank in you go in a beautiful white. And then we've got the fuel pump just down here in a cheeky little black. There we go. I'm going to crack on, get the other side of the suspension all done. Then we'll come back and sort what's left in the engine bays out before going and building that beautiful twin-turbo V8. What do you think of that beautiful suspension in black, white, and red then? I absolutely love that. Three really good colours to work with, and you can do pretty much anything with them, especially with the painting and the quality of life mod, because you have a steel black colour option, a red colour option, and a white colour option. Obviously, the red, we haven't used any of that red colour option today. We've used our own, but you can still mix and match and make it look perfect. Loving this one. But let's get on and get the engine bay all sorted, starting with the power steering reservoir just up here, brake servo, and the wishy-washy reservoir in there. Then we got the ABS pump, which is in a beautiful red with the module just in a white and black on top of that. Looking nice. Isn't two-tone, that's just how it painted. I painted it white and that bit stayed in a little bit of black. Looking good. Battery tray is in a red. Then we've got the unpainted battery. The battery tray bracket, couldn't say that nearly, in a black on top. And then some lovely white support rods or bracket rods. There we go. In you go. Just down to the front, we've got the red radiators. Red radiators. Couldn't get that one out. There we go. Looking quite nice at the front. We've seen from the previous McLaren that you should be able to see them through the grille. But we still got a bit more to go. So let's get down at the back. Already got the fuse box in a cheeky red. Just up here, we've got that coolant reservoir. The Stage 3 Type B ECU up there. And then two lovely red radiators on the sides with white fan housing kit and a red fan in there. Just finishing it off, adding a splash of that red and white. In you go, and in you go. Looking beautiful, loving that. But now we've got to go and build that beautiful twin-turbo V8. Let's get in here and see what we've got. So we've got the block in a white with red. It's actually a red block with the white accent. Looking absolutely fantastic. The heads are red heads with white accent, as you can see, just the way I've mixed it around to go through like that. And then the oil pan just in a little black down the bottom. This side is already done with the timing belt, both cam gears, both camshafts, and all full spark plugs in. We've just got to finish this side off. Didn't want to rotate the engine. Just got to finish this side off and getting the rest of it in. It is a 4 camshafts altogether. 8 spark plugs altogether and 4 cam gears altogether on there. Then another timing belt just to go in there. Then we can get this big old front timing cover on just in the white. Keeping up with that, that's looking pretty good. Then we got the power steering pump, which is in a black down here. The alternator, which is in a black over there. And then the crankshaft pulley also in a black. With the water pump just in a cheeky little red, but the water pump pulley on top also in a black. All of the idle rollers are in red, so let's just get all of them in. That's all of them in for the time being. Let's crack on. A blacked out serpentine belt. Then we've got another blacked out serpentine belt. Belt tensioner, which is just in a black on there. And then the very last idle roller, also in a red, looking very good. Let's move up. Timing covers, engine head covers, in you go, just in a black. Don't know what's going on with me in the English language today. We are not getting on, but there we go. Get all of this bolted up. Then we can get the ignition coils in, and then that coil cover on the top. The ignition coils are just in a white, even though you're never going to see them. I just liked to colour match that part with the coil covers in. A beautiful red on the top. There we go. Let's nip around to the other side. Let's get all of this to the same space. There we go, this side all caught up. Then we've got the oil filter just down here, which we forced on that white. The fuel filter, which is officially in a steel black on there, looking quite nice. And then if we nip back around to the front, we'll get the intake manifold in, which is in a steel black and white. You've got that black base going all the way around with the white piping on the top. Don't know what's called that. Fuel rails in a black and white as well, looking quite nice. In you go and in you go. And then if we spin around to the back, the throttle is in a red and white. There we go. Just a little splash of that red on the front piece there. And then the last couple of pieces to go. Exhaust manifolds fully in a steel black on there. Looking good. And then we've got the turbos on the end, which are in steel black and red. Also looking very, very nice. Like how they've turned out on there. Looking good. Let's get the other side all in. And then let's get this beautiful twin turbo V8 dropped into our beautiful Liberty Walk 650S. Stunning McLaren. There it is, all finished. Let's go. Let's just get it dropped in. I'm hoping this is going to look awesome underneath that engine cover. I'm not 100% sure, though. We probably should open that first. There we go. In you go. And then let's get the crane put away because we don't need you anymore. Go into photo mode because we're definitely not going to be able to see it. Start going up in the air a little bit. And there we go. That's looking good under there. Not too much red. I thought the engine might have looked a bit too red, but it's not when you look at it from the top down. Just a few splashes shining up through. Liking that with the Spider engine cover. Just in that white and carbon fibre. We have given that an extra colour on there. Looking quite good. Let's get it up in the air though. Get the gearbox in. Drive shafts and the starter in. No more exhaust to go in because the tips are fitted onto the bodywork. So in we go into that gearbox, which is in a black and white. Just a tiny little black portion just down there. I just like to add it in because I can, and it makes it look a little bit different. Then we got the starter up here, just in a cheeky black, looking good. And then the 2 drive shafts are also just in a black on there, keeping up with that beautiful colour theme. And there we go. We can walk underneath it, but we've seen it from the previous one. You can't really see a lot because of all of this covering down here, but it still looks absolutely fantastic. Back down on the ground you go, so we can get all the liquids topped up, the windows tinted, get some beautiful wheels done, get this wonderful Liberty Walk McLaren outside in the sun. There we go then, all finished with the beautiful 650S Liberty Walk McLaren. Looking absolutely beautiful in that custom livery made by myself. Do you want to see it on the workshop? Let me know in the comments below. I do absolutely love this. I think it looks fantastic. Onto these rims. We've gone for the rim at Classic 16 today. The fronts are a 19-inch rim with a 275 width and a 25 profile on there. Looking pretty good. Down to the back, slightly different. They're a 20-inch rim at the back with 345 width, 25 profile, plus the rears need ET of 25 just to bring them out into that fender. That's if you're using the Liberty Walk body kit. Only the Liberty Walk body kit for them wheel sizes. It looks so good. I absolutely love this. We're definitely keeping it. And I think we should probably swap it with the Audi, considering the colour scheme is about the same. And it's a competition entry. But there we go. Let's jump inside. Love them doors. Check out the interior. Obviously, we got our red and white added onto the seats. Our black and white onto the steering wheel. And obviously, the bits around the vents and around the dashboard centre there in a beautiful red. Looking good. But let's get this V8 started with that wonderful twin turbo. Give it some gas. sounding quite mean, and then that turbo whistle at the top end, my absolute favourite. Now, we will be taking this one onto the racetrack today, regardless of what happens and how hard it is to drive. I'm going to try my best to get a good lap and a good time in. We shall see. It's very squirmy, very hard to drive. But in the meantime, let's get over to the dyno, see what this beast's horsepower is and what its drag rating will be. The V8 twin-turbo Liberty Walk McLaren 650S, that's a mouthful, on the dyno, 641 factory horsepower. How much have we added to this one today with our normal and TK aftermarket performance parts? And what will its drag rating be? A gain of 808, 127% power gained, an engine and a quarter. Happy with that, although it might be a bit too much for the racetrack. We'll definitely find out in a little while. 1,449 total horsepower from this beast now, with a drag rating of, yes, you guessed it, a 999. I feel like that one was obvious. Let's get over and have a look at the gearbox tune. I haven't done much to this one. I've actually moved it up to 450 to make it a little bit slower was my intention, and I have done that just a tad. Not slow by any stretch of the imagination, just a tad bit slower to be a bit more manageable on the racetrack. I haven't adjusted any of this, left all the gearing as it was, just brought the final ratio up to 4.5. And hopefully it'll be all right. We'll find out on the track in a bit. Don't forget, ECU tuning just up here, little link, and there is a link in the description below. Or just go to my shorts and find the easy ECU tune short video, and you'll be able to do this perfectly every time. It is so easy, it's unbelievable. But enough about that. Let's get this beast over to the racetrack and see if we can even keep it steady for one whole lap. Well, we're on the racetrack with the Liberty Walk McLaren, and I'm not sure this is a good idea or not. I am using a combination of my keyboard and my controller. I'm accelerating with the controller and braking and steering with the keyboard. This is going to be a bit confusing. The goal is to try and beat that Emden Jaeger in the top spot. I know it was my own creation, but that managed the flying lap in 1:23.539. Can we do it with the McLaren Liberty Walk? I mean, realistically, yes, we should be able to. It's definitely got the power, and it's a good driving car, normally. But under these conditions, we shall see. You're not going to see much of the standing lap, although we will do one, and you'll see the time from it. But we will see the whole of the flying lap and any mistakes in the standing lap. So let's just get on with it. I'm not looking forward to this. Come on, McLaren. Let's go. Off the line. And now heading up in towards the first corner. I'm going to let off the acceleration just a little bit to let this car pull around into corner number 2. I'm going to brake a bit and gently accelerate around. That wasn't too bad. Keep it on the same gentle acceleration. It tried to kill me. Tried to kill me again. There we go. And then power down. Here we go then. Up into the first banked corner. Slamming on the brakes. Gentle acceleration to pull us round and flip us over. And we are still alive. So that's a good sign. Let's just get some power back down. Slam on the brakes. Gentle acceleration in 5th gear. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Whoa, bit too much power there. Nearly lost it as we hit the apex for the corner, but there we go. Full power for a second. Bit of braking. Gentle acceleration to get us around this final corner. Then back on the full power. Definitely not a good standing lap at all. But we did make a few mistakes, so we will have it. There we go. Into the second corner. Brake a little bit, gentle acceleration as the car tries to kill us again. Gentle acceleration. I'm just going to keep the gentle acceleration on, and then back on the full power as we head up into the first banked left-hand turn. Hopefully we'll do better than we did on the first lap. So slamming on the brakes, down a gear, gentle acceleration to pull us around the corner without sliding. Full power for the middle bit, back on the brakes, gentle power to get us around there. Bit of a nightmare. We definitely can't go flat through here. The car will try and kill us, but back on the full power. Loving it as we go into the big right-hander, slamming on the brakes, knocking it down into 3rd gear, and almost no acceleration through that corner there. Just let the car coast up through as we head into the big lefter. This isn't bad, actually. I feel like we're doing all right. Brake, gear down, and nearly lost control. Bit more power, bit more power. No, too much power. Keep going around, and then back on the full power as we get the car straightened up again, heading into the S's. I'm hoping we can beat that 134 from the standing lap. I really am. Braking a little bit, let the car coast us round, down a gear, gentle acceleration around the corner, bit of extra power, no acceleration, bit more extra power, final corner, Gentle, 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 and then slamming on the power. Accelerate, accelerate. Come on, McLaren across the line with a 1:30.843 for the flying lap. The standing lap was a 1:34.805, and I'm not going to lie, that is better than I thought it was going to be. And all my practices, I was hitting 1:37s, 1:40s. It's so hard to steer this car, but it is beautiful nonetheless. But there we go. We've got a decent lap in, or a decent enough lap in. Let's get back to the garage and see where this McLaren will end up on the racetrack lap time board. Back from the track, where's the McLaren? It did make it on the board into 5th. Happy with that. I'm just glad we got it on the board, in all honesty. I wasn't even expecting to be able to finish a whole lap in a decent time. 1:38.43 is not bad. I mean, we're still within 10 seconds of first place. It's within 7 seconds of first place. So not too shabby at all. I definitely was expecting more, but it's so hard to drive and get the acceleration perfectly matched. If you're doing it with just a keyboard, you're just going to have full power all the time. Unless you've got a trigger-sensitive keyboard, you may be able to get away with it. But I had to bust out my controller, and even that wasn't enough to be able to get in and beat that Emden Jaeger. Still surprising me with only 401 horsepower. But there we go. Absolutely incredible. Really enjoyed that. But let's get back outside and see if we can sell on that beautiful Liberty Walk for some profit. Well, she's on the board, and that's definitely a good thing, but she does look beautiful. 5th place on our racetrack lap times board. I was expecting a little bit better, but there we go. 1:30.843 was the standing lap time. 1:34.805 was that flying lap. It wasn't the best, but there we go. Let's talk some facts and figures. I bought the car for 133,736. It could have sold it at a loss of 4,794 at the very beginning. We obviously didn't do that. We then went on to spend another 124,000. Bit too much there. 124,982 upgrading, painting and tuning this beast, paying our total spend at 258,718. Is there some money to be made from this beautiful McLaren? Let's take a look. All 100% complete, looking beautiful. That engine ramped up from 641 to 1,449 horsepower, a gain of 127% over an engine and a quarter. Fantastic. But it did cost us 258,718 to get there. We're definitely not selling this McLaren, but if we were, would we make money? We would, and quite a bit. We spent over a quarter of a million on this, but there we go. And we could sell it for 415,514. That's a weird-ass front-to-back number, but there we go. Leaving us with a profit, if we were to sell it, of 156,796. But we're definitely not selling this. We are going to swap it with the Audi, which was my previous competition entry, but there we go. Same colour scheme as well, red, black and white. That one's got a bit of extra splash of grey, but there we go. That's what we'll be doing with that one. Absolutely fantastic. What have we got up next? Well, you can already see it on the truck. Absolute massive monster this is. This is a workshop config of the Salem Earthquake, the Demon, and this was made by a person called Ace, and it looks absolutely fantastic. We've got some extra bonus parts. There's a snorkel over there. You can't quite see it. The light bar and the roof rack, and then we've also got this beast of a roll cage bit at the back. I did have to make some adjustments to this. It does come with the tailgate. There we go. The tailgate on there. So I've removed the tailgate from the config, and I've also relined up the drive shaft. If you can even, it's missing, but that's not quite connected when you first get it. It sits up here somewhere. So I've just gone in and changed a few little bits, connected that up, and taken that piece off. And that's pretty much all you need to do to get this one looking pretty sweet, and as it already does. But there we go. So it is the Salem Earthquake. We got ours from the auction house. Now, it isn't available from the junkyard. It's only available from the auction or the salon. So you do have to edit your files if you want to get it from the junkyard. And I got it from the bad auction house, and you have to add the junkyard to be able to do that. So there we go. It's not in too bad condition. Everything's around 50%, apart from that bodywork, as the same as with the McLaren. But there we go. Did we get a good deal? No. About the same as the McLaren, actually. 34,575 is what we paid. Obviously a lot less than the McLaren. But we were down 4,523, and we were down 4,794 for the McLaren. So there we go. Sell it for a loss? Definitely not going to do that. The engine in this one is the V8 double overhead cam 4x4, and we could swap it to the V8 Ford Boss 4x4. That's intriguing. Maybe we will. We'll swap it to the V8 Ford Boss 4x4 just because. We may do. It depends what's got more power. Whichever one's got more power, that's what's going in this beast. It's currently got 372 horsepower. It's pretty epic, and we're going to be taking it back to the gravel track. We haven't been there for a little while, so this could be a bit of fun on a Friday. So do make sure you join us back here on Friday for this Salem Earthquake. Absolute beast. Monster of a demon truck. We're going to have a bit of fun before the weekend with that bad boy. It's going to look pretty incredible, I hope. We shall see. I'm not even sure what liveries come with the Salem Earthquake, so we'll find out that. Maybe we'll see a few workshop ones as well while we're there. What did you think of the beautiful Liberty Walk McLaren? Do you think it's got enough to win the competition? Will you be voting for it? Have you even seen all the entries that are in there? Because some of them are pretty epic. Make sure you head over, link in the description below, to the Red Dot Games official Discord page, where we host the competitions once every fortnight, and occasionally we have prizes. But anyway, back to today's video. Don't forget to let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Leave us a cheeky little like. Share this video as far and as wide as you want to share it, if you even want to share it at all. But most importantly, stick that subscribe button and make sure you are subscribed. And thank you so much for watching. And thank you for sticking around to the end. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, whatever it is you get up to. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.